I think we matched that one up perfect. Alright, we got everything that we found in the past few months. We're coming close to our year anniversary again. We got about 3 months left. And I wanted to start identifying stuff because I have a new case that I'm going to put these things in soon. And I kind of want to group them either on timelines or by the types of points they are, and try to make a little bit better of a presentation. So we're going to try to identify as many of these pieces as we can, and in those that we can't, we'll kind of do our own groupings that justify, like these little bladelets. If I put those in, I'll do them all as bladelets. It won't so much follow the timeline or grouping as much, but just more of a general core group. And we have a lot of busted stuff over here, broken stuff or oddballs. We'll try to figure out what it is if we can. So we're going to use the Overstreet Guide and projectilepoints.net on the internet. Shout out to Dave Ullman on the High Valley Arrowhead page on Facebook. He's the one that turned me on to projectilepoints.net. So, and it's a great tool. If you guys find stuff and you don't know what you have, go on projectilepoints.net, and it has stuff in all kinds of categories based off the region, off the type that you have. You know, whether you got a notched point or a stemmed, and it will really zero down what you can find. So we're going to jump off here real quick, and we're going to get a handful of stuff and figure out what it is. We'll come back to you once we got a grouping. Okay, before I do anything, I want to kind of rearrange my stuff. You can see it's all different now into some more generic categories that kind of work in my mind, and then go from there. So down on the bottom, I have what I think are all Madisons or Hamiltons, and that are better known to a lot of people as triangle points. They're worked on all sides, and all these were worked on all sides at one point or another. I thought this one was a bifurcate for a minute, and then I kind of realized it's worked down there, and it was probably just a piece that got knocked out. And it's probably a little what everybody colloquially calls a Madison, but there's a chance these might be Hamiltons, or I think there's one or two other kinds of triangle points that they could possibly be. So we're going to take a look at that. I've got drills and perforators there. I've only got 2 of those. I've got various what I think are just all stem points. I've got these 2 little bad boys right here. We call them turtlebacks because that's what a guy told me he colloquially calls them. And I'm not entirely sure those are points yet, or if they're scrapers. I'm not sure. And we got blades up here, and we'll figure out what's what. Bladelets there. Busteds, what ifs. I don't think we're going to be able to identify too much. Maybe the base of that one, because it's very similar to those, but we'll see. Maybe we'll put it down there for now. And then the moon-shaped, the crescent-shaped blades. So those are our categories, and we'll see if we can't try to get some names to everything. Okay, so pretty much the bottom row, I'm going to rule as Madisons, to my knowledge, after looking on here. One thing I learned about Madison is it's a 0.5 to 0.75 inches normally. Now I know this stuff can kind of vary from time to time, but those other 2 pieces there are much larger. And everything else here fits. Maybe a couple of these are 1 inch long, but for the most part they're all within that size range. So we've got all these marked as Madison, and I'm going to officially rule them as Madison, take them off the board, and that's how I'm going to put them in the display. So that's a good chunk of them right there. But we're going to keep trucking through this and seeing if I can't find pretty good definitions for the rest of these. I think we matched that one up perfect. That says Burton corner notch. That's what I'm going to put it down as. So we've got it figured out too. Okay, I feel like I made a good call in taking the this one out of the Madison category, because it matches right up pretty much with these Ford Ancients, almost identical. And this one that I found was actually found in Ohio, so pretty cool there. We're gonna put that one up there and mark it. And I don't know about this one, it's got a lot different of a profile. It doesn't have those little kind of things that stick out on the end, so I'm not too sure about this one. We'll try to figure it out too. I've been on the fence about this one, but I think it's a small McCorkle. You can see where it looks pretty similar to these. And then the reason I was on the fence is because the notching in these wasn't as pronounced. And this one's a lot bigger, but you can see where it matches the... And it fits in the size profile too. Some of the stuff I was looking at, they make them that small. So I'm putting that in the McCorkle category. I think here we've got an Adina blade. I'm pretty sure on that one. And I think this one was modified. I think it was an Adina blade as well, but I'm not sure, but that's what I'm going to label it as. If you think different, let me know in the comments. All right, I had that one originally as a Cobb's Triangular, but after looking at some of the Ford Ancient pictures, I think I'm going to change my opinion. I think this is a Ford Ancient blade. So that's what we're changing it to. If you think any different, let me know. All right, you can see that there. And I think that's what this is. I think this is an Eastern stem. There's a type of point that's just a little out of our range called Pipe Creek. They kind of, you can notice this one side's worked and the other side's not. And Pipe Creek has a profile like that, but the work side tends to have more of a notching to it than just a general stem like that. So I think this might have just been an Eastern stemmed, or just a general stemmed point that wasn't worked on both sides. Maybe it's used for a knife, maybe they just didn't finish it. But I'm gonna put that one down as Eastern stemmed. And if you disagree, let me know. I'm gonna go with Adina stemmed on that one. The stem's kind of broke off. It's a little bit longer, and it pretty much fits the profile of a lot of these. A little bit shorter, but I also don't know. The guy's got some fat fingers in that picture. So I'm going to Adina stemmed on that one. I'm not sure about this one. I kind of think it resembles a lot of Jack's Reefs, but kind of worked down a little bit. The base sticks out farther than the rest of it. I haven't really been able to find anything in the book or projectile points that looks kind of like that, except for the Jack's Reefs. It kind of looks like maybe they kept working on it. So for right now, that's what I'm categorizing it as. All right, I didn't do it. Should have done it sooner. I'm putting that one down as an Ashtabula. It's kind of small for an Ashtabula, but I don't know what other kind of stem it might be. It resembles my bigger one up there in the middle. So, like I said, if you think different, let me know in the comments. All right, we've pretty much got everything that we can dated. The bladelets you're not going to be able to. But I got dates on everything and the names I think they are. Still, the jury's out on these, and I'm getting some advice on this one. These are all what ifs. I'm not sure what kind of stem this is, or even if it's not just a broke off corner notch. I really can't tell. It might have went down a little more, and it'd be like what was it? Another one of those. It's possible. I might rule it into that category. I'm not sure yet. They're very similar, but pretty much those are the only ones I'm not going to be able to get a date for. Just generic blades. Brokes. And then we just got these four to figure out. All right, we got everything put in here for the most part, except for those drafts. I haven't really got an answer on them. I think they're just different progressions of finished and unfinished Ford Ancients. Like that one's the least finished. That one's somewhere in the middle where it's done on that side, but not on the back. And then that one would have been a finished triangle there, but the tip was busted off of it. But we've got all the tools lining the top and broke stuff. And then I got the drills coming down this way. And then I think that's a McCorkle or a Big Sandy. When the earliest day dates about 8,000. I think this might be an Eastern stem. It was about the same age. I'm just guessing on that one. I think it's the bottom of a Benton blade. And we got a couple, what I identified as Brewertons, an Ashtabula, a couple of Dina pieces. We identified these as Baker's Creek, that one too. I really had a hard time with this one. I'm guessing Jack's Reef. Pretty sure these are all Madisons except for that one, but I roped it in there probably at the same age because it's a small point. And it's probably a true bow and arrow point, so it's probably not that old. But jury's still out on that bad boy. And we got a couple of what I think are Ford Ancients right here. I'm 99% sure that's a Ford Ancient. I'm about 75% sure that is. And then we left room so we could put this in, and then we're going to have 3 more months of funds before we do our year. So I'm pretty sure we're going to fill this one up fast, and I might have to rearrange. We might have to take the brokes and blades out, because if I find enough stuff, I want to make sure all the points get put into a case. So we'll buy a couple other cases, and we'll make sure that stuff gets put in so it's not rattling around everywhere. But there's our next box. Appreciate everybody watching. Have a good one.